Konnichiwa, minasan. O genki desu ka? Welcome to my channel. Let's learn Japanese with Eric. If you would like to learn Japanese for work, travel, or simply personal interest, please subscribe to my channel and watch the videos in chronological order. All lessons are written in both English and Japanese, so if you read Japanese, you can follow along reading the hiragana alphabet. If you haven't learned the hiragana yet, you can learn them all in one afternoon by going through lessons 1, 2, and 3. Otherwise, you're perfectly fine following along using the English transliteration. So let's begin. Hajimemashou. In this lesson, we will learn the terms that Japanese people use when referring to one's own family members and how to address them. We will also learn the terms for family members of other people. Japanese use different terms when referring to one's own family members and when talking about other people's family members. In a nutshell, terms for other people's family members have honorific terms attached to them and are therefore more polite. First, let's look at the terms for father. Please feel free to repeat after me as I talk in Japanese. When talking to other people about your own father, you would refer to him as chichi, chichi. But when talking to your own father, you'd address him as otousan, otousan. And when talking about other people's fathers, you'd refer to them as otousan as well. For example, to say to other people, "My father is 60 years old," you'd say, "Chichi wa 60 desu." Chichi wa 60 desu. To say that Miss Tanaka's father is 65 years old, you'd say, "Tanaka-san no otousan wa 65 desu." Tanaka-san no otousan wa 65 desu. When you hear someone say chichi, they're talking about their own father. Whereas if you hear otousan, that's someone addressing their own father or talking about someone else's dad. Next are terms for mother. To talk about your own mom, you would refer to her as haha, haha. Haha wa kirei desu. Haha wa kirei desu. My mom is beautiful. But when talking to your mom, you would address her as okaasan, okaasan. When you talk about other people's moms, you would also refer to their moms as okaasan, okaasan. When talking to other people about your elder brother, you'd refer to him as ani, ani, or aniki, aniki. However, when you talk to your elder brother, you'd call him oniisan, oniisan. When you talk about someone else's elder brother, you'd refer to him also as oneesan, oneesan. You'd refer to your own elder sister as ane, ane, but you would address her as oneesan, oneesan. You'd refer to other people's elder sister also as oneesan, oneesan. You'd refer to your own younger brother as otouto, otouto, but you'd call him by his first name. When talking about other people's younger brother, you'd refer to them as otoutosan, otoutosan. The honorific san is attached as a sign of respect. You would refer to your own younger sister as imouto, imouto, and you would address her by her first name. When talking about someone else's younger sister, you'd refer to her as imoutosan, imoutosan. You'd refer to your own uncle as oji, oji, but address him as oji-san, oji-san. When talking about other people's uncles, you'd refer to them also as oji-san, oji-san. You'd refer to your own aunt as oba, oba, but address her as oba-san, oba-san. When talking about someone else's aunt, you'd refer to her also as obasan, obasan. You'd refer to your own grandpa as sofu, sofu, but address him as oji-san, oji-san. When talking about someone else's grandpa, you'd also refer to him as oji-san, oji-san. When talking to others about your own grandma, you'd refer to her as sobo, sobo. But when talking to her, you'd address her as oba-san, oba-san. When talking about someone else's grandma, you'd refer to that grandma also as oba-san, oba-san. Your own nephew is oi, oi, and you'd address him by his first name. When talking about someone else's nephew, you'd refer to the nephew as oigo-san, oigo-san, with the suffix san as a sign of respect. You would refer to your own niece to others as mei, mei. But when you talk to your own niece, you'd address her by her first name. When talking about someone else's niece, you'd refer to her as meigo-san, meigo-san. You'd refer to your own cousin as itoko, itoko. You'd address him or her by first name. When talking about other people's cousins, you'd refer to them as itoko-san, itoko-san. Referring to my own family, I'd say kazoku, kazoku. And other people's family is go-kazoku, go-kazoku. Go is an honorific prefix. You refer to your own husband as shujin, shujin. And you address him as anata, anata, or the pronoun you. Many young couples also have the wives address their husbands as otousan, otousan, or papa, papa, especially when they have kids. You refer to other people's husbands as go-shujin, go-shujin, again with the honorific prefix go. You refer to your own wife as kanai, kanai, or tsuma, tsuma. Husbands address their wives as omae, omae, or kimi, kimi, which both mean the pronoun you. But for many young couples, the husband calls the wife as okaasan, okaasan, or mama, mama, especially if they have children. And you call other people's wives as oksan, oksan. When talking to other people, you'd refer to your own child as uchinoko, uchinoko. And of course, you'd call your child by his or her first name. When talking about someone else's child, you'd refer to the child as oko-san, oko-san. That's a double honorific here. You have the prefix o and the suffix san. You'd refer to your own son as musuko, musuko, and address him by his first name. When talking about someone else's son, you'd refer to him as musuko-san, musuko-san, or botchan, botchan. Musuko-san is more formal. You'd refer to your own daughter as musume, musume, and address her by her first name. When talking about someone else's daughter, you'd refer to her as musume-san, musume-san, or ojo-san, ojo-san. Ojo-san has the honorific prefix o and the honorific suffix san, and also means young lady or miss. You'd refer to your own parents as ryoshin, ryoshin, and refer to someone else's parents as go-ryoshin, go-ryoshin, with the honorific prefix go. Let's look at some examples how these terms for family members come into play. Say two friends talking. Mr. Hayashi goes, Tanaka-san, ohayo gozaimasu. Ima kara doko ni? Tanaka-san, ohayo gozaimasu. Ima kara doko ni? Good morning, Tanaka. Where are you off to now? Mr. Tanaka goes, Tsuma wo mukai ni ikimasu. Tsuma wo mukai ni ikimasu. I'm going to pick up my wife. He uses the word tsuma to refer to his own wife. Mr. Hayashi says to Mr. Tanaka, Oksan ni yoroshiku. Oksan ni yoroshiku. Give my regards to your wife. Mr. Hayashi uses the word oksan to refer to Mr. Tanaka's wife. Here's a dialogue between two women. Mrs. A looks at Mrs. B's family photo and goes, Ojo-san ga kawaii desu ne. Oikutsu desu ka? Ojo-san ga kawaii desu ne. Oikutsu desu ka? Your daughter is cute, isn't she? How old is she? Mrs. A uses Ojo-san to refer to Mrs. B's daughter. Mrs. B replies, Musume wa kotoshi hatachi ni narimasu. Musume wa kotoshi hatachi ni narimasu. Speaking of my daughter, she'll turn 20 this year. This time, Mrs. B uses the term musume to refer to her own daughter. Then Mrs. A says, Sou desu ka? Uchi no musuko to onaji desu. Sou desu ka? Uchi no musuko to onaji desu. Is that so? Same as my son. Mrs. A uses the term uchi no musuko to refer to her own son. Another example, Hayashi goes, Tanaka-san, goryoshin wa o genki desu ka? Tanaka-san, goryoshin wa o genki desu ka? Hi Tanaka, how are your parents? Hayashi uses goryoshin to refer to Tanaka-san's parents. Tanaka replies, Genki desu yo, doumo. Chichi wa mainichi golfu o shimasu. Genki desu yo, doumo. Chichi wa mainichi golfu o shimasu. They're fine, thank you. My father plays golf every day. Note that Tanaka just uses genki and not the honorific o genki because he's talking about his own parents. He also uses the word chichi to refer to his own father. Then Tanaka continues. Haha wa shakou dansu wo naratte imasu. Haha wa shakou dansu wo naratte imasu. My mom is learning ballroom dancing. He uses the word haha to refer to his own mother. To recap, in this lesson, you learned the terms to use when referring to your own family members and how to address them. And you also learned the terms to use when referring to someone else's family members. And this ends our lesson on family members. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to having you join me in the next video. If you're serious about becoming fluent in Japanese, it's important to practice daily, learn grammar, and build up vocabulary. My whole course is designed to give you a strong basic foundation in the Japanese language that you can build solidly on. So please click like, share, or subscribe, and watch the next video in the series. Nihongo no benkyou ni ganbatte kudasai. じゃあ、またね。